We're going to call it. So if you could find a seat, I would appreciate it. I would be chairing today because the chairman is not here. So I want to start this meeting in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So could you find your seat, please? How are you? Yeah, I guess. I'm in the hot seat today. I was telling Ms. Bright that I know it's coming when to bring someone to executive. She never said anything to the chair. And she hasn't come from me.
That's another thing, yeah.
I can't really
No, you shouldn't bring it up.
contain it because we have people in front of us.
No, you can't.
And then we really didn't have one because they said that it should.
We had quorum.
No,
No, we had quorum.
we heard Ms.
And then,
The other ones were not voted on yet. The lady who had applications at the community board
but there was a gentleman also.
from the bid. His application hasn't been voted on either. Hi, Mr. Rosado.
You know what she said? What's?
I sent everybody. Right now? Oh, I don't know. We usually start the community part first. How are you? Me too. Because the back door that we usually come in is locked up. They're doing some. I had to come and find out the same thing. Gateway. I know. Yeah, I'm telling you. The office don't have it. We was told the office didn't get it. The office, the company, they don't have it. He said they haven't started that process. They have to come before us anyway. Okay? Ready? Good evening once again. We will be starting the general board meeting right now. My name is Alice Lohman. I'm the first vice of Community Board 5. I'm going to, first let me welcome you here. I know it's been a little, how could I say it? It was a maze to get into this building, so I thank you for coming to the building anyway, finding your way and coming to this meeting. I'm going to call the public speakers, which is the community voice. I'm going to let them speak first, and then we'll handle our business. But I want to welcome WNET back, who will be broadcasting this evening live on YouTube. They'll be here from January through June. So we thank you very much and welcome back.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joyce Scott Brabo. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. I'm going to be calling the names of the people who are going to be speaking, who signed up to speak. So if you didn't sign up, please sign up. The first one is Pincher. Is that Bindit? Pincher? Pointer. James Pointer. James Pointer. How you doing? Come on down.
Good evening, everyone. My name is James Pointer, and I am the chief. My name is James Pointer, and I'm the chief of the East Brooklyn Community Volunteer Ambulance Corps. I started the organization back in 2015 to tackle a numerous of issues in our community. First of all, I am a Brownsville and East New York resident. I've been living here all my life, so I have a personal obligation to my community. And I seen that calling 911, you wait for an ambulance 10, 15, and 20 minutes. And that's something that shouldn't happen, especially in a city like New York City. So with me working in EMS, I decided to take it upon myself to come and say, I'm gonna start a volunteer ambulance service in my community. So that's what I've been doing so far. Besides tackling the EMS aspect, I've also taken upon myself to tackle in other aspects like youth mentoring. In our community, there's not enough youth mentoring. During the summertime, I drive around because I also work EMS in this area, and I see the kids running around doing absolutely nothing constructive, I would say, nothing constructive. So I took it, I said, you know what? Let me start a youth mentoring program to show these kids what I learned when I was a kid growing up, because it was given to me when I was a kid, so why not give it back to them? So that's one thing that I'm also looking at giving job readiness programs for those who don't know how to get a job. Unfortunately, in 2019, there are some people out there who don't know how to apply for a job, fill out a job application, do a resume, how to actually dress for an interview, you know, not going into an interview with sweatpants and sneakers and stuff like that, but actually dressing up and actually looking presentable. So that's something else that I'm looking. There's a wide range of things that I'm looking to do for the community, and everything that I'm looking to do for the community is 100% free. There's no charge for anything. It's me giving back to the community that I love so much and I've been a part of for the last 29 years of my life. Thank you. Yes, I will also have some flyers and some brochures. They'll be in the back at the end of the meeting. If you guys want one, you can grab one. And we have a website, it's www.ebcvac.org. It gives a little history of the organization, why we started, things that we've done in the community, and things that we plan on doing in the community. Thank you.
Next is Emily Tillery. Emily Tillery.
Hi. Not really a big public speaker, but this is my second meeting, and I live on a private street in Cypress Hills. Some other members of my association are going to be here joining us today. Anyway, so we are considered a private street, and that comes with a whole slew of problems that unfortunately we've been going round and around with every major city department, and that kind of brings up a lot of issues. We have 20 houses on our street. We're different from some of the other private streets because we actually have a sewer system on our street. And over the summer, excuse me, most of the houses on our street experienced flooding, not just one time, not just 2 times, but my personal house flooded over 5 times this summer. I know we had a lot of rain, but that's not common. We found out that our sewer has not been serviced since 1923. And the sanitation department, or the DEP says that they can't access it due to the fact that at some point DOT paved over the manhole entrance. So basically we've been going round and around and around, and it's become more than just a nuisance or an eyesore, which it is both. Unfortunately, it's become a public health hazard. I personally have had a nagging cough for about 6 months. My doctor can't figure out, but it's very likely that it's due to mold from the flooding in my basement. My neighbors next door spent $20,000 completely remediating their basement, and most of the houses on the street, due to the low-income nature, cannot afford that. So it's becoming definitely a public health and safety issue. We have many other issues that also come along with it. Parking is not enforced on our street, so pedestrians don't have access to the sidewalks, which of course, since our street hasn't been repaved, since they've been recording repaving, we have puddles and potholes that turn to ice, which is also a public safety issue. So on and on, we have many things wrong with our block, and each time that we try to reach out to any organization, they shut us down or say, you know, next time, we'll get a meeting next month, we'll keep working. So I'm just here basically asking for help and guidance because I've exhausted all my own personal resources. I'd rather say privately, if you don't mind. But yeah, it's in Cypress Hills.
Okay. Can I ask that you speak to the district manager's office, their staff out there, and give them that information?
Sure.
And they can guide you pretty much of who can help you out with
Okay.
that.
We have worked with Rafael Espinal's office, and we've reached out in the past to the public advocate and also the community board, and we haven't made it anywhere yet.
Okay. So have you spoken to this?
Via
Community-
phone, not face to face.
Okay. So can I ask that you speak to the district manager, Ms. Perkins, right there, and you can give that information to
Okay.
her, and she'll guide you where you should go.
We have private streets here in our community board? Private streets?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Jose Falero and Luis Baez.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you to the board. Thank you for members of the community for having us. I'm not much of a speaker, but I'll give it my best. My name is Jose Falero. This is Luis Baez. We are members of the Detective Rafael Ramos Foundation. And what we wanted to do is just to present to you what we're trying to do for this community. I'm also the vice president of the foundation, and I am also a detective in the NYPD. We've been around now this is our 4th year. And just to give you a little synopsis on Rafael's life, Rafael grew up in this neighborhood. He grew up on Essex Street and Jamaica Avenue. There he grew up with his grandmother, his aunt, and he went on to marry his beautiful wife, Maritza, who was unable to be here due to a medical appointment. And he bought a house on Ridgewood Avenue, and he went to Franklin K. Lane High School. He went on to become a member of the NYPD. And in 2014, unfortunately, he and his partner were killed in their police car while they were serving their community. They were ambushed and killed. So his wife, Maritza Ramos, rather than to be angry at the world and blame anybody who she could, even though she had the right to, she decided to say, you know what, I want to do what Ralph did when he was alive. I want to be able to give back to the community. Ralph was someone who served his church. He was someone who fed the homeless on his time off. This was before he was a cop, and when he became a cop, he went on to do even more. So we wanted to turn that tragedy into something positive to give back. And in the 4 years that we've been around, we've given over 2,000 backpacks in the Bed-Stuy area. The reason we did that area is because that's where they were unfortunately assassinated. So we said, you know what? Let's turn that tragedy right in the spot where it happened and turn it into a blessing. Not only do we give out the backpacks, we close out the street, and we have the NYPD come out with mounted units and canines, and we have a DJ, and we throw a big block party for PS 59 and PS 157. And we're able to have officers from the NYPD come and hang out with the kids, give them backpacks, dance with them, do whatever that comes to mind, and we're able to do that. We also adopt schools every Christmas, and we give away toys to all the children, and we bring DJs, we bring bounce houses, so we bring joy from this tragedy. And the reason I say that is because we want to be able to. This is the neighborhood where Rafael Ramos grew up, and we want to be able to do more here. We are planning to do a toy giveaway in this neighborhood. We're working on selecting a school, but we also are looking to rename the Cypress Hills ball field. The Highland Park ball field after Rafael Ramos on Father's Day. And the idea is to be able to have a baseball tournament for the community, so that maybe fathers and sons can come out, bring their kids out. And we would, have prizes for them, and we would make it a community day in that specific ball field, and to be able to name the field after him. And am I going too far? I'm sorry. I'll try to wrap it up. I'm sorry. I know you guys got a long evening ahead of you, but we're just trying to be able to give back to the community where Rafael grew up, And if we're able to rename the ball field, it would go a long way for us to be able to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
William Perkins.
Good evening, everybody. Excuse me, and Happy New Year. My name is William Perkinson, and I'm the Associate Executive Director of East New York Diagnostic and Treatment Center, and we're located on 2094 Pitkin Avenue, and we're also part of Gotham Health Incorporated, which is comprised of 5 other diagnostic and treatment centers, in addition to about 68 other school-based and community neighborhood outpatient centers. I'd just like to announce a few things that we have going on in the next few weeks and the next month or so at East New York. Basically what we're doing right now, we've recently opened our teen clinic, and our teen clinic is opened on every Tuesday, and it's open from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we'd like, if anybody has any children or any kids or teenagers that would like to come through there, we'd greatly appreciate you bringing those children to our services. The other services that we do also offer, we offer dental services, behavioral health, adult and peds medicine, also radiology. Like I said, we have a wide array of services, and like I said, we'd like you guys to come and participate and help us for our service. In addition to that, one of the events we're also having, which will be convened on March 15th, is going to be our legislative breakfast. And that will be occurring at 11 a.m. at East New York on the second floor auditorium, and we hope that you guys can come and participate in that and learn about some of the things that we're doing, and also meet some of our legislative officials, our political figures in the community, and the things that they're trying to do to assist us, such as yourselves here at Community Board 5. And in addition to that, we're also looking for any members for our Community Advisory Board or our auxiliaries. So if you are interested in participating in that and participating in some civil service, you can notify our community engagement program. With that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Juan Bravo. Juan Bravo.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juan Bravo, and myself, along with my colleague Amelia Leonard, have created a social group called Black Professionals of East New York. Yeah. Woo! She was there. Black Professionals of East New York seeks to bring those together who live here, work here, and invest in this community. It brings these people together so they can collaborate and connect and sustain the culture of our community. If anyone has any questions or if anyone's interested in joining, I'll be here for the duration of the meeting. You can also reach out to us at 347-770-6539. Again, that is 347-770-6539, Black Professionals of East New York, myself, Juan Bravo, and my collaborator, Amelia Leonard. Thank you.
Tammy Green. Tammy?
Oh, y'all done cut it down to 2 minutes. Well, greetings and Happy New Year, everyone. It is truly a blessing to be here, and we made it through the storm and that Arctic blast, but I'm here for several reasons. My name is Tammy Green. I'm Pro Fitness 101, the ultimate in urban fitness training. Your health is your wealth, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. One most important thing is that I have a petition that's going around for PS 290 located on Skank. Really, it's Fulton between Skank and Barbie. The situation is that a child's safety to and from school should be our top priority. There are absolutely no speed bumps. on Barbie, on Skank, on Fulton, and they come off of Atlantic Avenue like they in a NASCAR race. And so this is a situation that we're addressing. I have a petition going around. I'm going to pass it. Please sign it. It's important. I don't have that much time. The second one, I'm here to talk about the boots are made for warming the hearts and soul of New York. New York is really big on giving away coats during the winter. However, if your feet are not protected from the cold, you are in bad shape. So this is the second annual Boots Are Made for Warming. What we ask is that each person donate a pair of boots. It can be brand new, it can be used. It can be paid less, or it can be top of the line, whatever your choice is. But that is also going around too. And last but not least, we started our fitness agenda for the new year. You got to be in it to win it. What you put in is what you get out. And so therefore, I want you guys, if you're really about your health and your wealth, give yourselves a round of applause. Let me see how serious you are. Oh, man, that's not good enough. I want to take advantage because Brother Mitchell is not here. But you know what? It's better than nothing, so I'll take that. So right now, Pro Fitness 101 is sponsoring 12 days of fitness. The first 12 days or the first beginning weeks of the new year is the best time to jumpstart your program. We talk about powering up. We talk about healthy eating. We talk about different programs. Last but not least, our fitness class is every Tuesday, 138 Pennsylvania Avenue at Liberty Avenue. And guess what? It's free. Come on now. Who said that? All right. So normally I'll make you get up out your seats, but I can't do that. But if you come to the class, bring a friend, work it out without a doubt. Pro Fitness 101. My number is 646-359-0042. See me. Oh, that's what that meant. Y'all need a bell. I'm going to bring my bell next time. I didn't know what that was.
And pertaining to your, pertaining to your petition you have going around, you could do it after the meeting, but not during our meeting, because we have to focus on business. You can reach out to Wilfredo, who's the chairman of transportation, and Wilfredo Florentino. He can assist you with the speed bumps, but you can't, the petition, you can do that after the meeting. All right, have a great evening.
Evelina Rhodes. Evelina.
Hi, I guess a lot of you know me and some of you don't know me, but I've been doing Girl Scout in East New York for 15 years. I love it, and I want to talk to you today about the Girl Scouts. There's a group going around, it's called Troops in the East New York schools. I don't know about the other schools, I only care about East New York, sorry. In the schools, in the public schools, they have this group called Troop for Troops. So it's Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. We know the history on Boy Scout, and I'm not talking against Boy Scouts, but I'm just letting the parents know and people know that Girl Scout and Boy Scout did not join together. So if your child, a girl, is in a troop in these public schools, that is not Girl Scouts. So when you give your child the permission to join this troop with the Boy Scout and Girl Scout, know what you're doing. Because remember what happened to the Boy Scouts? Please don't let it happen to the Girl Scouts. That's all I'm trying to say. And please, please, all parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, check with the public schools to make sure your girls are where they're supposed to be. In Girl Scout, not Boy Scout.
T. Garcia. T. Garcia.
fix, but you don't know the name. Good evening. My name is T. Garcia. I work for the Center of Health Equity. Do you hear me? Because I know I couldn't hear back there. For the Brooklyn Action Center, Department of Health. And so I am the director of the naloxone training. And what I do is go around throughout Brooklyn and provide the training. So I'm here to ask again for organizations, programs, residents to come together and let me provide the naloxone training. Because I have to say that I'm the representative of East New York, but I'm doing workshops everywhere but East New York. And I know for a fact that overdose is in our neighborhood. Okay, because when I have done the workshops, I think 3 or 4 times, and I've been doing this since last year in April. Every time I do the training here, someone will say to me, "Oh my God, Miss T, somebody just died the other day in the corner." I was like, "Oh my God." So I know it's happening. So if you have an organization, a church, it doesn't matter time, I'm really flexible. Weekends, as long as I'm not doing anything, I'll work it with you. So just give me a call. My flyer is on the back, but just in case, my number is 718-637-5212, and my name is T. Garcia. And I'm always around. If I'm not in the community board, I'm in the district. If not, I'm in the precinct. If not, ask the community board because they see my face enough. They know who I am, so just, I'm reachable. Okay? Thank you.
Nikki Lucas.
Good evening. Good evening. So I am Nikki Lucas. First of all, I'm your former district leader, and I haven't been here since last year. I've missed the meetings. My daughter had been applying for high schools, so I was kind of preoccupied with that, so I apologize for just coming to this meeting now, but I do want to thank all that supported me in the previous race. So thank you for that. I'm here today to actually discuss a public advocates forum that we'll be doing on Saturday, February 2nd at the Brooklyn Sports Club. Now, as you know, I've done the candidates forum for the district attorney's race when that was going on. I did the Meet the Judges. So we're just looking to continue the cycle of making sure that the community is aware of races and roles that are previously overlooked. These things are extremely important to our community. One, because this is the individual that actually takes the role of the mayor in the event that something happens. And they're also the voice that really advocates for the voters, people in the city when it comes to injustices with city government. So we want to pay close attention to this. Again, this is going to be on Saturday, February 2nd, from 11 to 2 p.m. It's going to be at the Brooklyn Sports Club. The doors are opening at 10 a.m. They're closing at 10:45 because we don't want people walking around. There's 23 candidates, so we're going to have a really strict schedule and how we're going to actually do this forum. There are other forums going on in the community, and I would recommend that you try to get to all of them. I know Mr. Riggins is doing one the following week, and before that, the week before, there's also another one going on in Brownsville. But please make sure that you get to these events. I also have a calendar. Both the flyers are actually on the table. I hear the beep, so my time is up. And I also have calendars as well. For text alert, if I can just say this very quickly, we have a text alert system for any event that we're doing and other community organizations are doing. If you'd like to sign on to that, you can text People First as one word to 55469. People First to 55469, and I'll be here afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. Please try to restrict your time to the 2 minutes because we have to be out of here at a certain time. And, I don't like to do what I have to do, but I have to keep an order in this meeting. Please respect the time that you're on this microphone. Thank you. Mr. Riggins, Vincent Riggins.
Good evening, family. How's everybody doing? If this is my first time seeing you, I hope that you're having a great start to the new year. My name is Vincent Riggins. I'm co-chair of Public Safety for Community Board 5. I'm also corresponding secretary for the 75th Precinct Council, and I want to welcome you to the city of Starlight, AKA Spring Creek Towers, right? I'm also was the organizer for the Concerned Families of Starlight during the sale, during the proposed sale, which actually went through. So we do have a contingent of concerned families here in Starlight, just like you have in every development. I encourage you to get with your leadership and wherever you live at, so we can galvanize our power. Real quickly, I am having a public forum for the public advocate. For the New York City Public Advocate. I am having a forum. It's going to be at Southern Baptist Church on Stanley Avenue and Ashford Street on February the 9th. I'm also going to partner with CCC, Christian Culture Center, on February the 8th. They're also having a public forum. The difference between Everybody Else Forum and Bright Leadership Coalition Forum is that we have developed what we call a prioritized community agenda of concerns, and those are the questions they are going to answer. Excuse me, I lose my voice. Those are the questions that the candidates will be given and they would answer when they come to our meeting. Our forum is not about placating and pompous speeches about what's important in the news. You're in East New York. East New York, we got some very important concerns in East New York, and we want those addressed, and we want to hit a vision for the future. So I would encourage you to be a part of it. It's going to be historic, and you're going to be here by Bright Leadership Coalition and that forum going forward forever. And we are going to partner up with CCC and anybody else out here that really want to build unity in the community. I think that was it. I just want to shout out to Mr. Donald Watson. He works here in the school. Donald Watson, somebody I grew up with, and he's like everything in the school, the dean and all that. And I just told him I was going to shout him out on there. Thank you for that. I went over 2 seconds.
I'm sorry, but I skipped over Mr. Scott, Albert Scott. Sorry, Mr. Scott.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy New Year's. Let me just preface my statement by stating this. The next 5 to 8 years is critical for communities such as East New York and Brownsville. On February 9th, we'll be hosting, the Homeowners Association will be hosting a community policy forum. The question that's always been asked, we need legislation that we can feel. At this particular policy forum, there's going to be updates as far as New York City, New York State, and federal updates as far as legislation that could either be a blessing or it could be a curse. You come out and hear it. One particular piece of legislation that majority of the homeowners feel that that will be a blessing is the Anti-Speculation Act that's working its way up in Albany to stem the tide of the flipping of homes, in which LLCs, corporations come in, buy low. The property is valued at $300,000. Now they charge it $800,000. You do the math. 20% of $800,000. Do you have that amount, $160,000 for a down payment? So as a result, it's not the cure-all or end-all, but it gives it a pause. Give our markets a time to breathe, catch itself, catch its breath. To learn more about that, come to the Community Policy Forum at the Homeowners Association's event. The second policy we keep hearing about is the average median income. This is a federal entity. We know that this particular formula includes communities such as Westchester, Yonkers, and Scardales, and things of the like. What happens if we was to remove those particular salaries along those lines? And why no legislation has been introduced, at least to say we need to revisit this formula? Come to the Community Policy Forum. There is going to be action taking place. There's action taking place already. The Anti-Speculation Act, I apologize. The Anti-Speculation Act that took place was created and generated by residents of East New York because what transpired with the East New York rezoning. So this is an idea that was birthed out. We voted, but then we said there was work to be done. Then we took steps to lobby and present and take days off from our job to go up to Albany where there's no mics and the lights are off, where the real work begins.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
So I'm going to invite everyone
Scott,
to the Community Policy Forum.
Thank
Thank you for your time.
Thank
No
you.
disrespect.
I expect our board members, especially when we have a time limit, I expect the board member to respect. I know the chairman is not here, and I don't look like the chairman, but I'm asking for the same respect that you would give the chairman if he was standing here.
Yes. Kaisi Motley. Kaisi? Oh, did I call David? I'm sorry, Kaisi. Okay, come on, Kaisi, Kaisi. I'm sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kaisi, and I am here to tell everyone about a program called Movement Black Youth Abroad. This is a youth travel program for youth of African descent who have never left the country. We're going to be doing our first trip this summer to Colombia. The trip is free of cost. It's for youth between 16 and 18. The main requirement is that they complete a social justice-oriented prep course before they go, where they'll learn about the history, the politics, and the culture of the country from an Afrocentric and decolonized perspective. I can attest to the tremendous impact that travel's had on my life. I will say, for Black people, I believe traveling is one of the most liberating things that you can do based on the history of this country restricting our movement. So to get a passport and go wherever you can please, that can be one of the most liberating and freeing things that you can do. So for Black youth to get this experience is incredibly important. But in the same breath, I'll also say anti-Blackness is global. So when we are looking at problems within our community, we should also be looking at from a global perspective and seeing what other communities are doing to fight within their community. So that's one in the prep course. That's the main thing that we'll be studying and looking at things from that perspective. So these flyers are in the back with more information. Applications open on February 1st. And then we also have 2 information sessions this week. We have one tomorrow at 7 o'clock and one Saturday at 10 a.m. Both of them are at Brooklyn Public Library, the big one, the Grand Armory Plaza. Thank you.
Thank you. David Vidget. David.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David Vigil, Project Director at East New York Farms. I saw some of you a couple of meetings back. I just want to share some opportunities for young people at United Community Centers. These are both paid internships for youth. The East New York Farms Youth Internship is for young people aged 13 to 15 that live or go to school in East New York. It's a paid 9-month internship, and they can come back for up to 4 years to be a part of the program. We also have another one called Protecting the East for older youth, 16 to 20, to do health education in East New York. Again, they have to live or go to school in East New York to be a part. I brought applications. They'll be in the back. If they run out, you can go to UCC, to our office next to the library, or look us up, ucceny.org or eastnewyorkfarms.org. I also want to say a special thanks to the Parks Committee, Keeley, and the board for the letter of support for our community garden on Wortman Street. Today we signed the license with Department of Transportation, so we should be moving into that site later this spring. So thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, James Tillman.
Just kick me if I go over 2 minutes. Hi. Hi, good evening, everyone. I've been lucky enough, my name is James Tillman, I'm with the U.S. Department of Commerce Census Bureau. I've been lucky enough to hit all of the committee meetings to make sure that people know that the census, the 2020 census, is about to arrive. We are hiring at $25 an hour. We are opening our first office on Myrtle and Lewis. We will be opening up 3 other offices in Brooklyn. We have to staff those offices. So we are looking for people rapidly. If you're 18 and over and you're not a convicted felon and you're a U.S. citizen, you can apply for the job. You just go on the website, 2020 Census. I have the cards in the back. 2020, this is really more, and I wish I had more time, this is really more critical because it's about the $675 billion that will come down from the federal government about communities that are being counted. Now, I was at Community Board 16 last night in Brownsville, and the first thing they did was say, we need to do something different this time because their numbers were low in 2010. So they started what we call a complete count committee. That means a group of people gets in a room, appointed by the chairman, of course, and talk about what the needs are in their community, but start identifying those hard-to-count areas so we can get the message out everywhere we need to get it out. Now, I've been around to about 6 of the 18 community boards already, and I got more to go. But we are trying to get the message out simply that please be counted. East New York is critical and important to me. I've been involved with East New York for at least the last 25 years. I served on this board for 15 of those years, and I was very active with them. So it's important to me that this community gets counted, but more importantly, at the end of the day, that they get the needed resources that are going to be available. Because if you are not counted within that 10-year period, you're stuck with those numbers. You're stuck with them for 10 years. So I plead. The other night, last week Sunday, I went to a church in East Flatbush, and the pastor said, James, all I want you to do is to have your 8 computers or have your staff downstairs working to when my parishioners come out of service, at each service, that you can help them to apply for the jobs. And that's what he made the whole service, all 3 services, around biblical context about the census and how important it is. So whatever way that we can come out and speak out to a church, or we can come out and speak out to a bar mitzvah, or if there's 3 people in the room, we will come. But remember, the jobs are there. They're going to be there for the next 2 years. So once you're in, I told you to kick me. Once you're in, then
Mr. Tillman,
you're in the system for the next 2 years.
Mr. Tillman, I'm going to act like the Sandman up here. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to yield to Brother Paul. Brother Paul, please don't make me invoke.
No. Very quickly, there's a group of us now that are actually petitioning, protect, and preserve the African American burial grounds that that exist in this community. That's sacred ground. If we don't protect the memory of our ancestors, we're not worth being their descendants. So you're gonna hear a lot about it. Catherine Green of Arts East New York, we're gonna put a blast out about it. We want you to join in because we have to fight for this land, the past and the future. Thank you.
Very good. Very. Melvin Faulkner, please.
Miss Onika Hawker, she's a school representative. Mr. Faulkner, 1 second. Onika Hawker, she's a school representative of PS 346. I would like to say thank you for allowing us to use your space. Yes. And if you would like to say something, you could come up front. Oh, my apologies. Tell her that we said thank you very much. We appreciate her allowing us to use this space.
Good evening, one and all. Good evening. I am representing the Assemblyman Charles Barron this evening. There's 3 announcements that we have to make. The most important one we're saving for last. On February 7th, there will be a meeting at the Prince Joshua Oviedo Center on 876 Skank Avenue from 6 to 8:30 p.m. What is it about? Affordable housing for us. come to find out exactly why we're not getting the certain amount of applications in a timely manner. One, if you look at most of the applications, they're out of town, not here in the borough of Brooklyn. Look at it very, very carefully. So I'm saying something to you, beat the system, learn how to work the system in order to beat it. So come to that forum, okay? The next one, February 16th, there will be a 54-passenger bus going to Albany on that Saturday morning, starting at 6 a.m., and we'll be leaving Albany somewhere around 4:30 that evening. But come, because there will be a free bus, 54 passengers. When we reach the 54 quorum, it's over. Okay, we need the names by the 12th of February, because the bus will be leaving on the 16th. We'll know who has a seat and who may not have a seat on that. So now, call the office. I'll give out my phone number. You know I don't like to give out my phone number. But the 718-257-5824 is the number. And somebody at the office will take your name and put you aside. Ms. Bayboy, you in particular.
Okay.
So because she goes with us every year, so we want to make sure that we have the address and stuff like that. Senior citizens are the prime example of what the assemblyman would like to see in Albany, because they're the voters, let's be honest, okay? And the final one is February 28th. You want to know something about the February 28th date? Yes. I have the form in my hand right now. I hope that's not me. I haven't spoken for over 2 minutes yet. This is ridiculous. I'm not letting you see the name, but this lady got an increase in her property taxes, $243,000 in 1 year. It's not happening. We're going to call the Department of Finance, City of New York, to fight with us here on the 20th of February. Where's it going to be at? The address on that one is going to be at, let me make sure I don't give you the wrong address. Marjorie Richardson Court, 359, what is it? Hendrick Street. Okay, that's Winchester's office. He's grateful to give us from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock that night. What we want you to do is bring your forms, your tax form for the years 17 and 18 to the homeowners. Now, if you're a renter, you can come. We're not excluding, because you're going to learn something about how to operate with the City of New York and when to fight back and say, if it's no, we'll punch you in the nose. You bring that $243,000 bill to anybody in East New York. Not only East New York, in Brownsville as well. We're fighting for the Black and Hispanic community. You better be aware. Come out and see the fight take place. If the commissioner come or anybody else come, we'll fight with them too. Thank you.
I'm sorry we overlooked one person, Anthony, so if you don't mind, you're next. Yeah, you're next. After this one. Okay. Dr. Renee Young. Is Dr. Renee Young here? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got a new knee, so I'm good.
Now, let me just ask this question before I start. How much time do I have?
We're going to give you 5 minutes.
5?
Is that
I
good
thought
enough?
I was told I was going to have 10.
Well, if you want to take questions from the audience, 5. But if you don't want to take questions, 10 minutes. Tops.
Okay, very good.
All right.
I'll try. Did it start? Did I start?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
You ready? When you're ready, we're going to start.
We have to take care. It's important that, you know, I mean, I apologize.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm so glad I got this invitation. I want to tell you first, my name is Renee Young, and I conduct the Parent Leadership Institute at Boys and Girls High every month, second Saturday, 8 until 12 noon. What do? We work with our parents of children from elementary to high school, giving them the tools, the strategies, materials that will help them support their education at home, because knowledge is power. And we are trying to empower our parents. They are forced Central Brooklyn. The organization is for Central Brooklyn, sponsored by the Adelaide Sanford Institute, but our parents come from Harlem, they come from Queens, they come from the Bronx, and we welcome everyone. Now, that's the first thing that we do. As I said, we go through all the curriculum areas, we go through social emotional wellness, and any other topic that the parents are interested in. Now, the second is parent advocacy. Now, this is very important. In 2015, we teamed with the Center for Educational Equity to train our parents in students' rights. They learned, and I'll say 8 rights, that was very, very important for their children. These rights are guaranteed under the New York State Constitution. Once the parents were trained, they started to go out to all the community education councils, the PTAs, the churches, the PAC, the Borough High School councils, District 75, everywhere. And everywhere they went, when they asked what I'm going to do tonight, what are the rights? No one knew any of the rights. So this is crucial. So the next thing was to ask the chancellor, it was Carmen Farina at that time, to give this information to the parents in the publication that goes home every year in September or is on their website, along with the discipline code. 1 page we asked for, 1 page. And Carmen Farina said that, of course, she would look into it. All of the councils that the parents spoke to endorsed the resolution that parents should have this information. We didn't hear anything about it. Of course, the chancellor retired, so we have a new one. My parents approached him also. He said he would look into it. Now, that was not enough. The parents went to Assemblyman Walter Mosley and asked him to construct a legislative bill, and he did, and you'll get a copy of the bill. All we're asking is very simple, is for the parents to get the information about their rights. Very simple. It's not rocket science. All right, I'll just digress for a minute. Any of you know any of the rights? Do you know anything about class size? What the law says class size should be in kindergarten? 20. 20 in a class. Grades 4 through 12, and that's early childhood when I say 20, K through 2. 4 through 12, 21 to 23. Has anybody ever told you that? No. Do all of your schools have licensed librarians? All right, many of them don't. Many of them don't. And there's a list, and I'm going to give you a handout where you'll have all the rights on the back. Where's my, can you give this? I have it in Spanish and I have it in English. So my assistant for the night is going to give those out so you'll have that information. Okay, now, what happened to the bill? The bill is in committee because there was a changeover in the legislature. So we're expecting the bill will have to be redone with a new number. So we'll see what happens. But I want you to have the bill also because we want to get support for this bill. Every parent, every family should have this information in their hands. This should not be a secret. Now, how am I doing? I'm doing good? How about? Okay, so I'll entertain questions. Anyone have any questions? Yes.
Where is this bill right now? Has it been recently introduced by the
It
Assembly?
was in May.
In May, okay.
Right, and it's and I have those. It's a state. See, this will affect the whole state. First, we started with the city, and when we didn't get the response that we wanted, they said it's in council, the legal council. So then we took it to Assemblyman Walter Mosley, so he could, and he sponsored the bill. And we're looking for a senator to sponsor the bill also, so it will be in both houses. So, yes.
You mentioned something about the Constitution.
Yeah, New York State Constitution provides for all of these laws. And I sent to Jessica Ramos, who was here earlier, the essential resources. It's a booklet. I sent it to her electronically. It has all the information in there. And I'm sorry.
If it's in the Constitution, why does it have to have a bill to support the law? Is it part of the Constitution?
Because nobody knows what's in the Constitution. We are asking the school districts to put this in the publications that they send to. We don't want to, we could ask parents, just read the Constitution, but we just want those laws to be extracted and given to the parents.
So a bill is just to provide the information.
Right.
Not to change the law.
Oh,
Just
no.
Just provide the information.
To mandate that the information has to be disseminated. That's right.
Okay,
And also, we want the districts, also in that bill, is very important, is because what? If you have it there, some parents will read it, some parents won't. You know, they won't get around to it. So we want the districts to make sure when they do the school quality reviews, to ask those questions. What about class size? What about the lighting? What about the ventilation? What about the curriculum? Is it up to date? And if you look on the back, you'll see. And if I had time, I would make sure that everyone here would leave knowing those 8 rights. Because I have a little thing I do with CC, BB, SSSE. How many heard me do that? Oh, you heard it? Okay. CC, BB, SSSE. And I was asked to come back and do a workshop on a Saturday, and I guarantee everybody will know what that stands for. It's very good. Right. C is class size. CC, curriculum. The children have to have an up-to-date curriculum. B is books and all the materials, all the instructional materials. Buildings, make sure everything is in order, the bathroom works, or everything, clean water, everything. Those are the 2 Bs. And back to the books, labs. Many of our science, we have science labs, but science labs are supposed to have lab assistants. Are there any lab assistants in our schools? Oh, right, okay. And computer labs, all the technology. So those are your 2 C's, B's. Books and includes everything, and buildings. And then SSSE, because that comes out to 8. S is safe. You should have a safe environment. S also means smart, and that stands for qualified personnel in every school. And services for children who are struggling in certain areas. Well, in any area, they're supposed to get support. And the last one, E, for ELL learners. So those are the 8, and when we go through it, we learn all of those and what it means. But I can't do that tonight, but it's good to go. C, B, B, SSSE. That's all you have to remember. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you for coming.
Yes, in the back.
Do these rights apply to charter schools as well?
All schools. Charter schools are public schools. Not in the sense, of this school, but they're under the New York State Constitution. Any other question? Yes. Why isn't it?
Why is it not?
Why is it not?
It's not important. They have, it's not considered important. There is a commission, the state. Now, let me tell you about the Olmsted Commission. They got everybody together, and they developed a curriculum. And guess what happens? Everybody was happy about that. What didn't they do? They didn't fund it. When you don't fund it, it doesn't go anywhere. It's all on paper, but you have to fund programs.
There you go.
You have to pay people to come and sit on the commission and do that work and then make sure that it's out there in the world, in these schools. And then who's going to teach it? You have to train people to teach it. What does that take? Money. So it's more than just why isn't it being taught. There are documents on the books, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Thank you very much.
It will unravel a bunch of lies that are taught in the school system today.
We're not in the school system. We're ignored,
Thank
our
you
contributions.
for your
I'm sorry.
time.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
Because I want to come back.
Well,
I don't want to.
We want you to come
all
back.
are tough.
We want you to come back.
I want to come
But
back.
we have to get out of here,
I know.
so
Okay.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're looking forward to that. Okay. All right, Mr. Drummond. Anthony Drummond.
I'll be very quick. All right, good evening, everyone. All right, Anthony Drummond from Borough President Eric Adams' office. Just a couple of quick announcements. The first, in the back, we have our monthly newsletter that we put out, and just want to bring to your attention that on Tuesday, January 29th, which is the front page of the flyers here, the Borough President's Office, in partnership with New York City Department of Youth and Community Development, we're going to be having a Neighborhood Advisory Board info session. We're encouraging anybody that's active or involved or looking to form neighborhood associations to are also looking to form a neighborhood advisory board to come to this info session. We'll also be having information regarding funding allocation for services such as adult literacy, housing, immigration services, and youth and senior programs. So that's going to be Tuesday, January 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Brooklyn Borough Hall. And also just want to announce, this is mostly prevalent for those Community Board 5 members, as well as those in the audience that may be interested in joining Community Board 5, that the application, again, is online and will be coming to an end next month, the end of February. So if you're interested in becoming a member of Community Board 5, please apply. And those who are on the board currently that are looking to reapply, also submit your applications to by the end of February. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. My direct line is 718-802-2682. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, Representative Frangel Basura.
Hi, everyone. My name is Frangel. I represent the Office of District Attorney Eric Gonzalez. Greetings on behalf of DA Gonzalez. Happy New Year, happy holidays. It was MLK Day yesterday or a few days ago, and very inspirational weekend. Couple of end of the year, beginning of the year updates from the office, and then I want to offer my contact information in case you guys have any questions or any concerns relating to the DA's office. The first is that 2018 is when Brooklyn records its lowest number of homicides, which is an incredible feat. As of December 2018, murders dropped below 100 for the first time since record keeping began. In addition to that, admissions to Rikers Island on misdemeanor cases declined over 43%. Again, great news. We want to make sure that we keep that momentum going. And it's, again, thanks to all of you guys, the constituents, the police officers, anyone who is of service to the community. Very second update, the Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, moves to erase past convictions and outstanding warrants for low-level marijuana possession. And again, that is a part of DA Gonzalez's effort to make sure that we're no longer criminalizing our neighborhoods of color. My phone number is 718-250-2138. Again, that's 718-250-2138. My email address is my last name, Basura, B as in boy, A-S-O-R-A-F, brooklyndA.org. If you guys have any questions concerning quality of life or safety, please feel free to shoot me an email, call me. I'll also be here until the very end of the meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, council member representative for Inez Barron and Anna Fisher.
Okay. Hello, good evening, all. My name is Anna Fisher. I'm Director of Community Relations for the Office of Councilmember Inez Barron. I know my colleague, Mr. Faulkner, had already mentioned the housing affordable for us. This is what the flyer looks like. There's one back there. This event is taking place on February 7th, and it's going to be at Prince Joshua Center. The other thing that I do want to bring to your attention is that our office is now doing the Heart Share to assist with paying, it's a grant to pay for your gas bill. But in order to use this, you have to utilize your HEAP. Okay, so a HEAP gives you $200 to help you with either electric or gas. Heart Share applications are in the council member's office. You have to call for an appointment. And then once you exhausted your HEAP, then you have another $200 grant to assist you. Now, it's a grant, so you don't have to pay it back. And that goes towards your utility bill. Okay? And that's all. Have a good day.
Thank you. State Senator what is that? No, Julia Salazar, office, Jessica Franco. So that's it. So that's it for the elected officials. Anybody else from the elected officials' office in the audience? No.
Thank you very much, public, community. Thank you so much. So now we're going to start our business. My apologies.
Good to talk? Just want to say hi, everyone. I don't have much to say. Just letting you guys know that we have a list of events on Senator Prasad's website. If you guys are interested in keeping track of meetings such as this one and other events happening throughout the district. And we have our own events coming up this year, such as we're offering free mammogram screenings tomorrow and Saturday at Brookdale Hospital, and we have an Easter egg hunt coming up. Things like that will be on our website as well. In case you don't know it, it's nysenate.gov/senators/Roxanne-J-Prasad, and feel free to reach out to us for any of your events. As long as they're free, we'll list them. Thanks.
Thank you. So we have quorum, so we're going to start our board business. I will entertain approval of the January 23rd agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second by Angus. Okay. I also make a motion to approve the December 19, 2018 minutes, which is in your folder. If there's any corrections or anything, I entertain a motion. Mr. Feliciano made the motion. Second, Ms. Wardley. Is there any committee reports? Yes, Brother Paul.
Hi, good evening. My name is Alberto Ramos, and this is Brother Paul.
Brother Paul Muhammad, we're the public safety and the quality of life. We joined together as one committee now. Brother Ramos, you want to give your first part of the report?
First of all, I want to thank James Tillman for coming out to our committee, our Quality of Life committee meeting. Thank you. Our report is, we are the advisory board, we oversees the licenses the liquor licenses that are coming out for renewal. For example, the Olive Garden and Buffalo Wings came to our committee to reapply for their liquor license. Now, the Community Board 5, we are like the advisory now. We oversees who gets a license, if they have everything in order. Some of them didn't have the paperwork in order, and they got declined until they get the paperwork in order. Olive Garden and the Buffalo Wings got the license, and because they have everything in order. That's about all.
Well, again, to just reiterate what he said, we are an advisory. We don't decide, SLA decide, the State Liquor Authority, but we give it comments from our view as the community, make sure they're good partners, they don't have a lot of incidents at their sites, and we give our advice whether or not we go along with it. My part of the report is dealing with the fact that we found a lot of the residents, homeowners and residents have come to our committee, public safety, and they have severe complaints about zombie homes being occupied by undesirable tenants and residents, from drug dealers to people who just take over these homes. It's becoming a quality of life issue and very dangerous because some of these people came in, they're threatening the folks that they're next to. We've tried to work with our 75th precinct the best we can, but we're finding that it's clogged up with a lot of bureaucratic double talk. We find that when we talk to the police, they tell us they can't go into these buildings because they need to talk to HPD, or they need to call the Department of Health if somebody's having the food, or Chamber of Commerce, or whoever. We're trying to fine tune that, and I applaud Ms. Jessica Bailey, one of the members of the quality of one of the public safety, because she's come up with an idea that we're going to put forth. We're trying to be creative and proactive in Community Board 5. That's why I'm glad that I'm on this board. We're looking to create an actual form when we report these incidents, like we have a very bad incident of drug dealing that's going on the Glenmore corridor, and a very aggressive person that's doing business on Pennsylvania Avenue. But they're saying that before the police can move forward, they have to have HPD check out the house. And we've checked it out ourselves. We found these houses are severely back in their taxes. The person there does not have a lease to be there. But we're going to give this application, this form to the NYPD to review, and it's going to have on there HPD for them to do their due diligence, check for HPD, checks with Department of Health or whoever, so we can get some action moved on these things. See, this is very dangerous because we've had folks come to the meeting and saying they feel their lives are threatened, their home values are being threatened. There's a health issue. So we're definitely going to move forward with that and keep you informed. Yes, ma'am.
Brother Paul, is there SLA application that you want to bring forth to the committee that you approved already, or you're just giving information right now?
We're just giving information to the ones we had already approved at the last meeting.
Okay.
Yes, we did. We had two. No, not that. Did he just told you the two?
Yes, Olive Garden and Buffalo Wings.
He told.
Right, but we voted on something in committee before we bring it to the board, right? For approval.
You have them? That's the.
I might be
No,
mistaken.
we just double checked it.
I was at the last meeting. Yeah, they voted on that.
We voted on the last one, and these two that you just giving me report.
I'll back.
And we voted to the last meeting. I'll double check right now.
So the SLA is making a recommendation, the committee is making a recommendation that we approve the application?
That's what he's doing, yes. Olive Garden and with the Buffalo,
Outback.
and Outback.
Okay.
No. Which one?
District manager?
That's what I thought. No, okay. Yes, Buffalo Wild Wings and Olive Garden. You had it right the first time. Yeah, just a little nervous.
So, with that being said, are you?
We're making a motion that they approve that.
Okay. All in favor by the board to approve the Olive Garden and Buffalo
Yes.
Wild Wings liquor
Liquor license.
Say aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, moving right along.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Is there any other committee reports?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming. My name is Kilian Kaveanya. I'm the chair of Parks. And we meet every third Tuesday of the month This month we met on the 15th, and we had 5 items on the agenda, and we had quorum, so I'm very excited about that. I want to thank my committee for making it happen for us. It's exciting to say we made quorum and we're going to get some work done. The first item on the agenda was we needed a secretary, and Brother Scott agreed. We voted, and now we have a secretary, so thank you very much. And another item was electing one of the community members who was interested in parks, Brother, what is it? Brother Gregory, so he's now part of a Parks Committee, so thank you, Brother Gregory. And the third item on the agenda was Detective Ramos' need for letter of support. The committee agreed to support the letter to rename the part of the ball field. So now we just need the support of the board to vote to support Detective Ramos' foundation.
With that being said, I'll entertain a motion to accept the committee's report of giving a letter of support to co-name, or is it to name part of it?
It's part of it.
Part of the park.
Yes.
Explain that. The baseball field, but yeah. I want her to explain what part of the park means. One second, order. Keelan.
Okay. They're here to answer the questions, but we support the fact that he's part of the community. He served the community, and we want to entertain the possibility of having the police and the community to interact and to teach the kids that police didn't just come to be a police. He was part of the members of their community, and maybe one day they can aspire to be policemen, but we need to develop relationships. And I think having an opportunity to play ball together, have questions, and they will come to the community and teach about police relations. That's what they told us.
No, I agree with that, but I don't understand. I'm posing to the board a question, and we're saying part of the park. I wasn't a part of the committee, so I don't understand. I need clarity before I can bring it to the board, because you're saying part of the park. I'm not understanding what part of the park means.
Oh, there's a section where they play baseball, and that particular section, they want it to be renamed Detective.
So not the park, just
part
an
of
area in the park.
where they play ball. The baseball field. On the Jamaica.
Okay.
The name of the park is Highland Park.
Okay. Mr. Riggins?
Were there any other community feedback from the local residents or from any other residents in East New York pertaining to that request? Or is this their first?
Yeah, they already have letter of support from public officials, and so they need.
I said, was there any other residents that live around there that signed on to designating that park with that name? I know, well, for a fact, it really doesn't matter to me that much, but I know for a fact there have been some long-term residents that were civically active up in that area that passed away recently, and I haven't seen or heard no movement, but I have heard them talk about that. So I don't know if that's a conflict or not. I was just wondering if that come up in your committee meeting at all.
Well, we didn't have any petitions that we were given to look at, but they told us that they've been working with the community for 3 years, going on 4.
They were provided a letter of support from the elected officials representing that particular ball field. They received letter of support from Assemblyman Eric Delon, Councilman Rafael Espinal, and also the other Councilman Holden, if I'm not mistaken, along those specific lines. So according to the New York City Parks rules in regards to actually renaming a baseball field, they are going through the necessary steps as far as getting the public letters, and one of the main portion of that is a letter of support from Community Board 5.
I get that, but what Mr. Riggins is asking, he's asking, was there any outreach to the community back there as far as other people that have passed away and passed on? Did anybody go to the people in that area and get some sort of petition signed, letter of support, stating that we're okay with that? Before it moves on, he have a valid point.
Detective,
Would you guys like to answer, you know, to the committee, to the community board? You can stand up front. What he's asking is, you know, it's great. Our heart goes out to the officers that lost their lives. However, we have to do things right and in order.
We respect to anyone who did serve in that community and did pass away and did work within that community. What we were told by our elected officials was this would be our next step. If there was a step before that, as the one that you're mentioning now, we were not made aware of. But if need be, I mean, our intention is to serve everyone in the community, and that includes anyone who lost someone within that community. Unfortunately, we're here to represent a member of the community that we know, and we cannot speak for anyone else who may have
So with
lost
that
someone.
being said, as the chairperson, I am going to table. I have to table I cannot ask the question to give a letter of support when there's so many members here that's asking valid questions that we cannot answer. My heart felt, you know, for the detectives that lost, and I'm sure it will go through, but for this month, I'm gonna have to table it, and I'll ask the two chairs to do some more research, or maybe work with them to see if there is some petitions that's back there. A few people in the community that is okay with that besides just the community board and the elected officials, because the elected officials are the elected officials. But there's people that live back there that we have to take in consideration their feelings and their thoughts as well. So with that being said, I'm going to table that portion of your report until the next meeting in February. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so the last part of the agenda was the reconstruction of Highland Park. We are waiting from Highland Park to answer a few questions that we had, and we're still waiting. So thank you.
Okay.
Hotep.
Okay.
My name is Brother Kenny. I'm the co-chair for Parks Department, committee, and the Environmental and Sanitation Committee. I have three things on the agenda I would like to speak about. First, we have a community and a community issue with a church that have been neglecting the property that we're trying to come to some type of conclusion, and we're looking for the support of public safety as well as land use, because they're saying that this property is being neglected. And the residents are saying that it's creating a very unsafe environment, and we're looking to set up a meeting between the community and the church to come to some positive conclusions to that situation there. It's on Linwood and Liberty.
Okay.
Linwood and Liberty. The second thing I would like to talk about, we're looking, the environmental committee is looking to host a forum. What's this? Here we go. I'm sorry. We're looking to Oh, I'm sorry, that's where, top
Okay.
here. I got it here, I'm sorry. We have voted and planned and host a 2019 East New York Environmental Summit, somewhere around in June. And the last thing on the agenda, me and Brother Peterson and other residents of the community realized that there's some permissible waste trucks that's been passing through the community with some very nasty odors, and they're parking on some of the major streets, and they're driving through the neighborhood during off hours, and it's leaving some very nasty smells throughout the community. And we've been taking license plates, and we've been trying to move forward and trying to come to some type of conclusion with that.
Okay, I know the district manager, myself, and the chairman went to a meeting about the waste trucks that's coming from back there by, what's that, over there off Fountain and, yeah. So I would ask that you reach out to the district manager's office, community board office, and speak to the district manager to see if she could assist with your concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Hope they have a question.
My question is,
Thank you, brother. Excuse me.
for both of you, for example, we are getting summons, tickets for the tree wells that don't belong to us. You know, they use, the city came and plant trees. Now, you know, there's rubbish that flies to the tree well. We're getting summons for that. Also, there's a lot of rats that, you know, around the neighborhood.
We in the community or?
The community, yes.
Can I ask,
Yes.
for time's
we'll
sake,
meet.
that you speak to them offline or maybe go to the committee meeting so that they can get the information for it from you and they can work with you?
Okay, yes, okay, I can touch it.
And also, you have to remember to call 311 so they can list the
Yes, thank you. The district manager's report?
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
And Happy New Year again, as most of the board members and organizations and community members have stated. Welcome to 2019. Just to let you know, well, back up, I'm Melinda Perkins, District Manager for Community Board 5. I'm joined here by my team at the district office, Shamika Chappelle, Jahira Richardson, and Karan Allen. Working collectively at the beginning of the year and throughout, here to assist, of course, board members and any community members with issues. Just to get started with 2019, we're going to be doing our annual meetings with block associations, tenant associations, and we're starting
Excuse
off
me.
with our...
We still have a meeting. We have a meeting. Business, Damien.
Thank you, Chair Lohman. I say let's give it up for Chair Lohman real quick. And I say that because it's always difficult when we have a chairperson as consistent as our Chairman Mitchell, when he is away, for someone to step in and, you know, be able to maintain the meeting and get us from A to Z. So we appreciate that, and along with the other executive board members, thank you so much. And board members for making quorum. But we will be kicking off our annual events starting in February. The budget town hall will be following up to talk about the mayor's management report, some of those district resource statements that are then published by the agencies. That's going to be happening on February 13th at the Prince Joshua Vito Community Center, same location. Then we're partnering with HPD to do a tenant resource fair on February 20th, and this is going to be taking place at PS 214. And we'll be joined there by the Housing Connect people to talk about how to become a part of that lottery pool for any new housing that's coming into the district. And one of our housing ambassadors, Baptist, will be joining to talk more and also to be able to relate to that portion of our district. Again, we'll be hosting with the block associations a street activity permit session We encourage every year for more people, those of you who do hold street activities, to come to this meeting. There's always a question around what you should be doing. SAPO is there at the meeting. NYPD is there at the meeting. So your questions can be answered directly. So please be sure to attend. Also on the agency notification piece, the Department of Transportation did notify us and let us know, that's a lot of knowing, that there was a traffic signal that was approved for Atlantic and Chestnut. It's going to be included in the whole Atlantic Avenue construction portion, but it will be coming in about 2021, they'll implement that. So it brings me to a point, I know a lot of people here contact the office about speed humps, stop signs, traffic signals. There's a whole new process for that. When you call, Ms. Shamika Chappelle will answer the questions and let you know what to do, but you no longer have to bring petitions to the community board office for speed humps. DOT changed the entire process, so be sure to call. We'll give you that information, and there should be a copy of that process in your folders tonight. And public hearing on the Board of Standards and Appeals application that the board heard back in April. It was approved through our board, but there's a larger public hearing that's taking place on February 5th at 22 Reed Street. If you want to go in and give public comment, or you want to submit something by paper, you can contact our office. We'll give you all the information for that, and good night.
Thank you, District Manager. The chairman's report is in your folder. If you don't have a copy of it in your folder, or the community, if you would like a copy, the community board staff is back there and they could give you one. Okay. Old business, is there any old business? I'll entertain old business. New business, is there any new business? Moving right along. With that being said, thank you for putting up with me. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Thank you, and good night. And we look to see you at the next meeting, which is February the 23rd, and it will be at February 27th, Wednesday, February 27th at 6:30 at PS. Hello. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 27th at 6:30 p.m. at PS 158, which is 400 Ashford Street. Thank you for coming out, and I expect to see you all there next month.